We are gonna see how the R5 performs shooting some action today. I am pretty familiar with shooting action. I used to shoot a lot at the racetrack for 1320. I've shot monster trucks a couple times. I've shot NHRA a handful or two of times. So I know a little bit about some settings and stuff for action, as I've been doing it for a couple of magazines and stuff. Hopefully the R5 can perform really good for action. I know there's a lot of tutorials and reviews online about the R5. I didn't see too many on action, so that's what today is. Today we're gonna do a little review. I'll show you guys a couple of the settings I run, and we're gonna see how they work, because I haven't shot action with the R5 yet. So I'll run through my settings that I'm gonna try out in the beginning once we get to the racetrack. But also, this is gonna be a two-part video. After the racetrack, I gotta come home, grab a couple things just because it's on my way out, and I have to head to Scottsdale. I put these windows up. I have to head to Scottsdale to shoot a Lamborghini for Jet Set. If you remember, I shot 11 vehicles for Jet Set a few weeks back. So now they have a new Lamborghini they want to shoot, so we're gonna go shoot that. So two-part video. We're gonna head to the racetrack right now, get the camera set up, and we'll see how it does with some action stuff. I'm pretty sure it's gonna handle it just fine. I'm used to my 5D Mark IV. I think that shoots like 10 frames a second. The R5 shoots about 20, so shouldn't have a problem. We'll see how the focus does. I know a lot of people were wondering how the focus does for action, so we're about to let you guys find out, and then I might do a little video with the R5. For the most part, I'm gonna be filming on the GoPro 9, but if I do end up doing any video with the R5, it'll say in the bottom right corner, shot with R5. So let's head out. So you may have noticed, I have taken the truck out of the garage for the first time in a year or two. Riding a little bit dirty. The registration sticker on the back expired February of 2018. So I haven't had this thing out probably 1, 2, 3 years, I don't know. I put 600 miles on it last year. So that tells you I don't drive it very often. So pulled it out, put some new tires on it because the Honda is still in the shop. I did get the quote. I believe it's like $3,500. I don't know if that's with my deductible or without my deductible. If that's not with my deductible, the damage was $4,500. So it's getting fixed, but in the meantime, I am driving the truck. So I miss driving it. I'm happy to have it back out of the garage. I went and got the oil change, got new tires put on it. Just rolled over 58,000 miles on this thing. It's 2010, so I don't drive it very much. It was my father's truck. So it's something very sentimental to me, so I don't take it out very often. But that explains what happened with the Honda. If you haven't seen the video, it's the vlog before this one. Go ahead and check it out. I got a little up close and personal with Bambi. It ran out right in front of me, but I promise Bambi was okay. Just go watch the video. So, all right, let's get back to driving. Figured I'd explain that. So, here we go. All right, guys, so it's a little early. Kyle's not here yet, so we'll go through this real quick. In autofocus, the autofocus method I'm gonna run today is the horizontal, because with the bikes panning left and right, I believe that I will be able to grab onto some action pretty well with that. And then I'm gonna put it into servo autofocus mode. I don't want to do one shot because I want it to hold focus with the rider as they come through the turn, and then hopefully I can tag onto them. Also, I believe I'm going to change my shooting mode onto low continuous, or I may shoot it on high continuous. We'll see how it goes. I know high continuous, this thing just eats through photos real quick, so we'll put it on low continuous, see how that works for a little while. Might need to go to high if I'm not catching the action I want. But just waiting at the gate for Kyle, then we'll do a little B-roll of unloading the bikes and everything. I'm gonna try and take some video with the GoPro of the bikes going through the track. Might also put a GoPro on one of the bikes, we'll see. But hopefully Kyle shows up soon. The track just opened about 2 minutes ago, it's 8:02. He said he's about 20 minutes out, so let's get to unloading the bikes and get out to that racetrack. Well, the wind has picked up pretty significantly. I don't think I'm gonna get the shots I planned on today. The track seems a little uptight. I guess spectators aren't allowed in. So COVID's really got things messed up. The track that I'm shooting right now on the far side, or I guess closest side to the gate, I'm getting some decent shots at the gate. I'm gonna head over to the far track. I see a lot of people standing in the middle. Maybe I can get some better shots, but so far, my first observation with the R5, the autofocus in the method I had it with the horizontal, it just wasn't catching the riders enough. So then I opened it up to the full let it find people, like the first option. I think that's the eye focus. I left it on that for a little while and it seemed to be doing much better. But it still was searching real hard on the corners when I was panning. So I just put it in the big center mode. We'll see how the shots turn out from that. It seems like I'm getting a better hit rate. So we'll head over to the far track, see what we can get over there. In the car seat. All right, all wrapped up here at the motocross track. Did not get to do what I wanted to at all. I stayed in the same spot on the fence because I didn't want to get yelled at by the track. I never went down to the other track because the riders I was here with stayed on this track. But all in all, I feel really good about what I did with the R5. Once I got the autofocus figured out on the mode that worked for this, it did just fine. I ended up raising up my shoot speed to high speed continuous, not high speed plus continuous, just high speed continuous. And it was probably a little too fast at times. I was popping 20-30 shots on accident, but at other times, you know, it worked really well. Ooh, this road's bumpy. So again, like I said, I changed the autofocus mode from first the horizontal I tried, wasn't working because I was high up. Once I got to the mode where it just searches for anything in the frame, it worked a little better, but I ended up going to the big center point, and that worked a lot better. After doing that, I noticed my shots were much better, and I always kept it on servo autofocus so I could follow a rider the whole way through. I ended up meeting a son and a father. We're out riding. I normally don't walk up to people and hand them a card, but I got some really cool shots of him and his son going over the jump together, so I handed them a card. So he said he wanted to order some posters, but I normally don't do that. Maybe it worked out in my benefit this time for actually handing somebody a card, but normally I don't solicit my work. But it's about 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go home and try to edit some of these, and then I gotta get back on the road at 2 o'clock to go shoot this Lambo for Jet Set. So here's a couple of the photos that we got from the racetrack, and then after that, we're headed to shoot the Lambo. Oh, I feel like I was just here. Anyways, now I'm headed out to Scottsdale. I went home, got to pick out photos from the racetrack this morning. They look pretty good. Got a lot to choose from. I actually had a lot more tack sharp than I thought. The R5 nailed focus quite a bit. When you're looking at it on that little screen and having eye problems like me, sometimes you can't notice if you're getting it or not. It looked fine. But when I got home, I found out it was really good. So got some good photos. Now I'm headed out to Scottsdale Airport. There's police up here. And it is really, really windy out. This is gonna be a challenge, probably a quick shoot. And then it's cloudy, so that's a benefit. I don't know what color this car is. Hoping it's a really good photogenic color, but we'll find out when we get there. Either way, it's cloudy, so even if it's a black car, I don't mind shooting black cars, especially when it's cloudy out. It'll come out just fine. So we will head over to Jet Set, get set up. It's about 2:30. Should be at Jet Set by 3:30. Got to scout around a little bit, see if we can find a location, and then shoot photos, head back home, and start editing for the next couple days. All right, we just got here, looking around, finding cool spots. Just got my first look at the Lambo. This is gonna be pretty sick since it's cloudy, so here, take a look. Headed back over to the lot that we just shot the Lambo at. Called another audible like last time when hanging out with Brian. We're gonna shoot that bagged rail that we saw on the back. Instead of coming back later on this week, we've got probably another, oh, it's not too bad. We got probably another about 30-40 minutes of light. All right, change of plans. We couldn't get the rail started, dead battery. These things, same as last time. They sit here for a while, sometimes on consignment, and he waits to put them up on the website. So sometimes the battery dies from just sitting there, or the owner that's getting rid of it has let it sit in their garage, and then it gets put in his garage, and they just sometimes have a dead battery. So what's up, guys? So just to close out last week's video, it's now 4 days after I shot at the racetrack. I got to look at some of the photos I took, and a lot of them I nailed focus on. Looking at it on the small screen again, I have a bit of a eye problem going on, so sometimes I can't tell if I nailed focus, but I would say about 95 to 97% of the photos I took were tack sharp, or at least somewhat sharp and usable. But for the most part, when I was using Zone AF, it was hitting a lot better than spot autofocus. So once I put it into Zone AF, it was working much better. So I would suggest, if you're shooting subjects that are erratically moving, as long as you can keep them somewhat in that zone that you're working with. I was using the big zone in the middle. I was hitting just fine. When I was using the big zones, the multi-zones, I wasn't hitting it correctly. Maybe it's because of how high I was compared to where the riders were, where if I was in the corners lower down, that panning would have worked much better. So my suggestion is, if you're shooting anything with action or motion, try, seeing what works best where you're at. Not one thing is gonna work every time. But for me, the zone worked in the middle, and I was able to keep the rider in the middle somewhat, and it was nail and focus. And I had it in servo autofocus, obviously, so that would keep the focus moving as the rider was moving. But when they went up in the air, when they went behind the dirt, it still stayed on it. So my suggestion is, just mess with it. If you're gonna shoot action, this this camera does great for action. I know a lot of people have been curious if it was gonna do fine with action. I 100% would use it at a racetrack shooting NHRA. It's fast. It is so fast. And once I put it into high servo and shot on the high plus mode, the continuous mode, it was just eating through photos. I was surprised at how fast it took photos. So for me, that'll wrap up this week. Next week, we're headed to Dino's Get Down, which is actually tomorrow. It's already Wednesday, and Dino's, what's the pre-party over at Trey 5 starts tomorrow. So I'm gonna head to that. I think I'm gonna take my oldest son. He's pretty excited about that. And then Friday, I'm gonna try to get out to Dino's Get Down, maybe for an hour or two just to walk around. But mainly I have to go up north on Friday afternoon. It's my 5-year wedding anniversary, so me and my wife are doing dinner. Then we're gonna rush back down to Westgate, and we're gonna hang out with everybody Friday night, and then Saturday, obviously, we're there all day. So pretty wild weekend ahead of us. A lot of running around, a lot of gas. Gotta put the miles on the truck finally. I don't have my Honda back, as you saw in the earlier vlog, the last vlog. That thing's still in the body shop, so gonna be a little while before I get it back. But that'll do it. If you guys have any questions on the R5, drop them in the comments. I've messed around with the R5 quite a bit. I'm actually headed to another photo shoot. I think I've done about 10 photo shoots already on it. I feel pretty comfortable with it. I know a lot of my friends contact me about certain things with that camera, and I try to help them out as best I can. So if you guys got any questions, let me know. If not, see you guys in the next one.